Hello everyone, welcome back to a Quispy Flicks video. This is a series that we're going to try and do called Guilty Pleasures, and basically what it is, we're going to take it in turns and pick a guilty pleasure film that we like, that no one else, or a vast majority of people might not like, and talk about the film and why we like it. And it's my turn, so the first one we're doing is 2003's Hulk. The plot of it, the basic plot is, it's an origin story, how he turns into Hulk, and basically how the military react, how his dad reacts, and he just does Hulk stuff pretty much. There's not really a plot, really, is there?
No,
it's just Hulk doing shit.
Yeah.
Anything you want to say, first off?
This is the most boring, monotonous drag of a film I've watched in years. I've been racking my brains ever since we watched it, just trying to figure out, like, if there was anything memorable, if there was any memorable moment or any standout performance in it. There wasn't any.
Not even the fight scenes?
They were few and far between.
There was two.
Yeah.
No, sorry. There was three, and one of them was on tanks.
Yeah.
So does it count?
I think the thing is, this film, you watch it for the Hulk. It's titled The Hulk, right?
Yeah.
But the moments of Hulk doing stuff that's cool are too few and far between. It's more accurate to kind of call this film Bruce Banner the movie.
Yeah.
You know, if you want to see Bruce Banner going around a lab and messing with vials and gamma radiation and stuff like that, this film is for you. This is the quintessential Bruce Banner movie, right?
Well, I mean, for the most part, I think like the second half of it, or like from the third act onwards, it's mostly Hulk.
Yeah,
because you've got the breaking out of the military base scene, and then the rest from that. And then it's kind of like his dad comes and stuff. But
I don't get why you like it so much.
I don't get it.
I
just think so. We can get onto these points. So straight off the bat, the Danny Elfman score plays in the intro. I love the score. Don't know about you.
I liked the theme song. That was about it.
You didn't know this until like just now, but it is actually Danny Elfman that did Spider-Man.
I've no idea how they got Danny Elfman in this film. Comparing it to something that's came out around the similar time, the Spider-Man films, right?
Earlier, really.
The Spider-Man films do pretty much everything better than this Hulk. Even the first Spider-Man film, which is pretty weak, it does everything better than this film. Everything. More meaningful characters, actual relationships in it that are believable and they feel earned.
The acting
is better somehow.
Yeah.
Yeah, the acting is better. It's just I don't know who this film was made for.
It is like a good 2 hours and 20 minutes long.
It felt like 4.
Endgame felt shorter, and it was 3 hours.
They drag every scene out to the far end of a fart, and it gets so painful. Like trying to keep your attention on it. They like wrap in this whole subplot about Bruce Banner's dad, and it's
not needed, is it?
I just didn't care.
But if they took out the subplot with his dad, it still would have been the same movie, just without his dad. So he's fighting the tanks and the army. Right at the end of that, he sees his girl come down, Big Betty. He then calms down.
Yeah.
And then he's back to being Bruce, and that should have been it. But then straight from that, it's remember the dad plot. Here it is.
We gotta try and resolve that non-villain.
Here's the conclusion to the generic bad guy, David Banner. You compared it to Spider-Man. But we also said that some bits had Raimi vibes to it.
Yeah.
With the not so much the film quality, but the cheesiness.
Yeah, the cheesiness. I found that to be kind of welcoming. I like that because I could at least go, oh well, it's kind of like that movie in some ways, and then it was like, but I'd rather be watching that other movie.
Oh yeah, it is a very cheesy. You can see the transitions and the comic book transitions in this movie are so cheesy.
There's one in particular, isn't there? The tessellating cube transition.
It's bad. it's not even cheesy to the point where you're like, that's fun but cheesy. It's like, it's horrible.
It is so bad.
It's horrid.
It was very obviously made in a time when this technology was new, and they were just like, yeah, let's stick this in and let's stick that in, and yeah, that's gonna look so cool and so sick, and it just looks so dated. I think the main thing that I had issue with this film is there is no compelling villain.
What, was generic bad guy voice David Banner not good enough for you?
Absolutely not. No, he was in it for all of about 10 minutes, if that, as this villain.
I mean, they built him up, but then the final fight scene, which is normally the biggest fight scene of the film, it's very short.
I'm not a major Hulk fan, but I'm assuming that, you know, Hulk fans, you know, he's a big bulky guy. You want to see this big bulky superhero fight big bulky supervillains. Abomination, Red Hulk, you know, all these.
General Ross is there.
Yeah, Red Hulk is in this film. He could have been the villain, but
facts, man, facts.
Yeah,
maybe they were saving that for a Hulk 2.
I just couldn't get invested in any of the villains.
No.
There was never a point in this film where I thought, oh my god, he's going to lose. Because it's the Hulk. You know, there's no threat to him in this film that actually makes you worried about the character. Whereas you compare it to, you know, the Hulk movie that came out a few years later.
He was getting twatted for most of that fight, really.
He was getting beaten down, and it's like, well, this is really close. And, you know, when he killed Abomination in the 2008 movie, I think it is.
Yeah, 2008.
Yeah, you know, it felt earned.
I don't even think he killed him, because if you look, he's still breathing on the ground. I think they just...
Yeah, but regardless...
Yeah, but even so, he wins in the end.
It had stakes.
Yeah.
It had stakes.
I get what you mean, yeah. I no matter how much this is a guilty pleasure of mine, and I'll watch it multiple times, David Banner is a non-villain in this. He's just, hey, I'm your dad, Bruce.
Yeah.
I'm your dad. I killed your mom, Bruce.
There's this whole thing about Betty Ross, and Betty Ross is with Bruce Banner. They are like a power couple in Marvel,
like MJ and Peter.
It's historic in the comics that these two are like a real couple, and they have got no chemistry in this film. Jennifer Connelly and Eric Banner, they've got absolutely no chemistry. You don't believe that they even like each other.
And it's a shame because each actor's good.
Yeah.
They're very good actors.
They are,
but
yeah.
With the material they've got, I mean, they kind of tell you that they were a couple.
Nobody expects this to be easy. It's working together after being so close.
We were close?
Such a dick thing to say.
It's like exposition. Again, there's no visual storytelling. It's always telling the viewer what's happening.
I don't know what it was about this film, but it seemed like every actor, like I said before, it seemed like they were on Xanax.
Yeah.
You know, they were just beaten down and just tired, and the line delivery was so dreary, and they all, I think we said it when we were watching it, they all sound the same.
They all speak in the same tone, apart from when they get angry and they start shouting. But
when they have to.
Even the shouting's the same throughout, really.
Everyone seems disinterested in this film. Everyone seems like they don't want to be there, and
it's just a paycheck.
They know that this film is going to be a low point in their career, but it's money.
It's like Batman and Robin.
Yeah.
George Clooney knew straight after shooting that I'm pretty sure he's quoted as saying, "Well, we've just destroyed the franchise."
Yeah.
After he's filmed it, and he knows it's bad, but you know, once you've signed up to do it, you can't drop out, really.
I think my opinion is, if you want to watch a Hulk movie, watch the 2008 one, because
it's not good, but I actually prefer the 2003 one, but that's why this is my guilty pleasure.
Yeah.
And I mean we've slammed it and slammed it, right? You know, there's a lot of flaws. The acting's not great. The chemistry's not great.
Yeah.
You know, the acting's kind of the same throughout. There's no compelling villain. The fight scene at the end's short. All this stuff, right? There's no Hulk dab, which I was fuming about.
Bruce.
Damn.
You know, General Rossi's mustache is too straight. It doesn't curve with the lips. It pisses me off, right?
Yeah, you said that at the time.
Oh, don't even get me started. David Banner's got a generic bad guy voice. It's like,
He does, yeah.
Hey Bruce, hey.
I think he's got like.
Bad guy, yeah.
I think he's got a pretty good voice if he smelled like 40 cigarettes a day.
I will give you now the rundown on why this is my guilty pleasure movie.
Okay, go on.
So, Eric Bana rides in on his little bike, right? First scene we see him in. He's wearing a goofy ass helmet. It's like, okay, I can believe this nerdy scientist is just a goof.
That's a fair point, yeah, I guess.
You know, it's like, this is Bruce Banner. He's a nerdy scientist that isn't cool at all. Whereas the MCU one now with Mark is kind of like a quirky jokester type.
Yeah.
He's like a quirky little, oh, I can make jokes. Oh, look at me, I'm all confident now.
Yeah. This version does have the charisma of a tablespoon. Yeah, I'll give you that.
I like the Stan Lee and Lou Ferrigno, however you say his name. They do a cameo straight away. They walk out.
Really good nod that. I really enjoyed that.
And I much prefer the Stan Lee cameos in the earlier movies than the MCU ones now. Because in the MCU movies, it's like, oh, let's make Stan Lee tell a joke to take the tension away.
Yeah.
Whereas in the earlier movies, it's just like, oh, Stan's here and he's walking by, or he says one line. It isn't like a dedicated scene for Stan Lee.
Yeah, it was simpler, wasn't it?
It was a cameo,
yeah,
not a scene. I love how this Hulk is just, he works off pure rage and anger. He doesn't think. He fights off instinct. It's just, right, I'm angry. What can I smash? What can I do? Which is, you know, he tries to pick up, he tries to rip the lid off, the top off a tank, and he whacks his bollocks, doesn't he?
Yeah.
Because he doesn't think. He just
stupid scene.
Yeah, but it's realistic though.
I get
if
what
he
you
isn't,
mean, yeah.
if he isn't thinking and he's just doing, he's gonna get hurt, and he whacks his own bollocks. And again, in the Gamma Dog fight scene, he gets his bollocks bitten.
Yeah.
Because he doesn't think. He's just going in, and also dogs aren't gonna think.
Again, this is a kids' film.
Yeah, it is a kids' film. And then he grabs the dog and punches the dog in the bollocks.
So
it's fucking. It's just Hulk's bollocks the movie at this point.
Yeah.
But I love how it just goes into, he doesn't think, he just does, and it's rage and it's anger and it's great. I will admit, the first transformation, if you remember, there's a really goofy scream that he does.
Yeah,
he's like,
there is.
"Ah!"
Yeah.
And he looks funny. the CGI is not great. That's, you know,
A given.
He looks
yeah.
like green Brock Lesnar if he was airbrushed on Photoshop.
Yeah.
I've said that to you. I agree with that. The Gamma Dog fight is fucking awesome. It's brutal.
Well, it had to be. It was one
yeah.
of the few times they actually fought something.
Yeah.
They had to, they had to
Yeah.
get some Hulk in there somewhere.
Yeah, I love how in that scene he uses his growth to his advantage. A dog's got his mouth around his shoulder, and he can't fight the dog off. So he grows and snaps the dog's jaw, and then rips the dog in half. It's like, ooh, that's the brutal Hulk we need. We don't need Big Monster.
Yeah.
From Ragnarok.
Big monster!
I hate it. I hate that Hulk. He's a joke. He's a joke.
Got that out of your system now, man.
Yes. I think there's some more that I like. Yeah, the military base / breakout scene where he's fighting the tanks and he's breaking out of that base, I think is awesome. You also liked how when they were shooting him, you could see the bullets.
Oh yeah, I
hitting
did
his
like
skin.
that.
You
That
can
was
see
one of the few decent effects in it, I thought, where you see like bullets literally ricocheting off of him.
Yeah, but you'd think with the wax CGI and special effects in it, that you wouldn't see something like that.
Yeah.
But you do, which is great.
I wanted to bring up as well that with all of the drama and all the focus on Bruce Banner and his early life and relationships and stuff like that, it feels like the director was going for like a character study film.
Yes.
Like a character drama sort of thing. And then there's just the Hulk in it as well.
Yeah.
And it's like you're sort of trying to pay attention to this like little loner, like, lab jockey. And then you're like, oh wait, this guy's the Hulk.
Yeah.
This is the Hulk, isn't it? And it's just really jarring when you see him actually do things as the Hulk.
If you got nothing else to say, that's about it, really.
Yeah.
I've listed why I like it, but we've also listed the obvious flaws because it's not a good. Don't get me wrong, it's not a good movie at all. This is why it's a guilty pleasure.
Yeah.
I love it, but it's not a good movie at all.
Yeah.
It's terrible. Final closing statements and a rating, please.
It's just an absolute drag. All the scenes, outstay their welcome, and there is nothing to get invested in this film. There's nothing to really sort of be like, oh wow, I have to see that. If you're looking for Hulk violence, modern day, comic book films and Marvel have done better Hulk, fight scenes, and it just brings nothing to the table in terms of a like compelling superhero film, really. I think if I have to do rate out of 10, I'd probably give it a 4 because it was still a film.
I think that's generous, to be fair.
Yeah, it was still a decently made film that had a plot.
Yeah.
But it doesn't do anything unbelievable, but it also doesn't do, anything terrible, really.
Yeah. Kind of like Birds of Prey.
Yeah, kind of like Birds of Prey.
Which is got a higher rating than, so that's great.
Yeah.
Well, my statements is, I know it's a terrible movie. Don't give me shit, because I know it's a bad movie. Don't get me wrong. But for all the reasons that I've listed, I love the movie. I love the Hulk in it. I love Bruce Banner in it. He's a goof. When he's trying to get angry, he looks like a goof.
Yeah.
Because, he's like... It's like that's how someone uncool would probably get angry. There's not much else I can say than what I've already said, but I will also give it a 4 out of 10 because anything over a 5 is generous, and a 5 means it's half a good movie, but it's not.
No, I'm with you on that, yeah.
So that is the first episode of Guilty Pleasures done. I don't know when the next one will be. I don't even think Jacob has his ready yet, do you?
I'm still thinking about it.
Still thinking. So
Yeah.
So that'll be up in probably the next few weeks or so, I would imagine. As always, like and subscribe. Instagram is in the link in the description, and we hope you enjoyed. Stay tuned for more uploads, and we will see you later. Goodbye.
Bye.